Hi, how's it going, everybody? I'm back with another video, and this will be the last trailer breakdown I'll do for a little while. I just don't want to do too many at one time, but I want to do one more on the Last of Us Part 1 gameplay video that Sony and Naughty Dog had posted after the gameplay leaks of The Last of Us Part 1 by a tester or something like that. They always have these issues. They've had these issues really for the past like 6 years. But anyway, with that being said, if you're on this video, thank you for coming to the video. Would you mind dropping a like on this video and subbing to the channel for more breakdowns, for more trailers, for more reviews, more podcasts. And yeah, with that being said, thank you for being here again. And let's get into the breakdown. All right, so we're here at the video. Of course, I can't let you see my beautiful face while I do this because I can't seem to figure it out yet. I'm getting there. I'm trying to get a little bit more professional in this bitch, but we'll have to do it like this. So, got the video muted. I'll put the link in the description for the actual gameplay trailer if you haven't seen it already, which I'm sure you have. But thank you for coming here to listen to my beautiful angelic voice go through everything that I like about the trailer. And is it worth the buy? Is it worth the $70? All right, so we'll go through it just scene by scene. Dude, I love this shot, man. I think if nothing else, you can't say that this game is not beautiful. Like, this game has some of the best visuals I've seen. And one thing I'm really excited about is that this game is only for PS5. And I know that sucks, because I know a lot of you guys who are watching, maybe most of you guys who are watching this video, you only got a PS4. And that's terrible. It sucks. I mean, it's crazy to believe. Here we are working on the second year of the current gen, and still you cannot find a PS5 in stores. And that's terrible. But this also gives you the chance to look at all the cool stuff you'll be able to check out when you get a PS5, because eventually everybody will be able to get one. So that's one thing I will say. I'm glad this is a PS5 only, and that they can really, and if they're gonna really go off the power of the PS5, this is the way to do it. So I mean, look, as far as detail alone, man, I mean, look at all this. I mean, graphically, man, it's gonna be wild. I mean, you see, like, look, I'm a huge like horror, Walking Dead, survival horror kind of guy. I love vegetation growing on top of buildings and stuff. It's kind of hauntingly beautiful, I would say. And this is actually, if you want to look at a comparison shot, this is the shot in the original game, and then it goes to the PS5, and I mean, look at the difference. I mean, look at the lighting, look at the forestry, look at the green on the trees and the brush, dude. That's so immersive, man. And when you can nail that, it's awesome. But here's like a shot of Joel and Tess from the first game, right here, and then here it is in the PS5 exclusive, just the PS5. Well, I guess you could say the remake. Duh, idiot. Anyway. I mean, really, it's like night and day, man. And yeah, I will say, like, there were some big complaints about some of the character models, that they don't look that great. Dude, this looks like a real person. Like, Ellie looks like the realest she has ever looked. I mean, this looks better than Last of Us Part 2. I mean, it's on that level, because Last of Us I'm so sorry. The Last of Us Part 2 is no slouch when it comes to visuals, man. That game is beautiful in its own right. But I mean, look at this. This is just magnificent, man. So we go further into it. It's just giving you a couple gameplay comparisons. I think the remake is going to take advantage of light. Obviously, when you're doing a remake, yes, you got the graphical changes with the character model stuff, but it's also lighting. I mean, look at the lighting when hitting the building on this brick building right here. Like, you kind of see like the cement in between the brick pieces, and then you look over here and you see it a lot more defined. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I can't like think for the top of my head like what's that called in between the bricks, but you can see it's more defined here, and a lot of that has to do with lighting. And I think that's a good use of lighting in games. It helps visually. Like, even sometimes, like, some stuff might not be, because look, let's be honest, everything in this game, even though it's built from the ground up, I know you can't see me doing my finger quotations, some of it's going to have the same assets as the original, but lighting goes a long way. I mean, look at this scene right here. The lighting, look at it. That's what you're looking at. That's what you're getting from this remake. Um, they talk about, gameplay, some things that they couldn't do. They talk about the AI. And so this is where I'm a little skeptical, because they were saying that the AI is going to be more in line with The Last of Us Part 2, and I don't really have an issue with that. Here's where my issue lies. My issue lies that The Last of Us Part 2 AI, while Last of Us Part 2 is a good game in its own right, you can say whatever you want about the story, right? The story has got its issues. And even the elephant in the room, right? Spoiler alert, Joel dying. Even though you have that, I think the whole revenge plot that they were trying to do is a little overplayed. I've seen it done better. But you can't say it's not a great game. But one thing that's not great about the game is the AI. Now, they can be difficult, especially when you cut up the difficulty. I mean, if you go from normal to hard, or you go to grounded, them jokers are they got like automatic. They're auto aim. They all are like PC players over there. Like literally, you run out of cover and you're getting sniped. I mean, but I will say they're not exactly the smartest. So this doesn't really excite me too much, because The Last of Us doesn't have great NPCs. But I mean, obviously, like, they can be difficult. It just depends on what difficulty you're playing at, Normal will give you an okay challenge from time to time. But I mean, really, you're going to get the most challenge out of like hard or grounded, which I don't. I tried grounded one time, and it's like you have hardly any ammunition, And I most of the time don't really have a problem with that. You make your shots more worth it, but I think it's just way, especially Last of Us Part 2. Grounded in Last of Us Part 1, like the original Part 1, it was okay. But Part 2, man, it's like, man, they barely give you anything. But they talk about the NPCs some more, which is fine. That's cool. A little bit more immersive. They talk about in this, they kind of show you, I'll let it play for a little bit, but it's kind of like, they said apparently they had someone motion capture to kind of get them to move more realistically as opposed to how they moved in the first game. I mean, which it's fine. I don't think really anybody's really paying attention to that too bad. Then they have a bunch of modes in the game that, they said apparently modes that fans have been wanting. I mean, I don't know what fan wants this shit where Joel is blue and the enemies are red. I don't quite understand that. I'm sure there's a group of people out there. Look, and if you're watching this right now and you're one of those, I'm sorry. I don't really care. Now, this is what I like, man. Again, we go back to the vegetation. I love this. I was talking to my wife about it, right? It's hauntingly beautiful. Like, it looks scary, right? It's end of the world. You got your car here. You got all the vegetation. You got rundown buildings. Everywhere's vacated and looted, and there's water in the streets because it's flooded and everything like that. But isn't this beautiful? Like, to me, this is beautiful. This looks so good. You know what I mean? And look at this, the shot of the church. Isn't that just like, it's just beautiful, man. I love the lighting. I love the atmosphere. And I'm a huge apocalyptic guy. I mean, I don't want that shit to happen in real life, but I love the atmosphere that they're putting in this game, because the original already had good atmosphere, actually phenomenal atmosphere. But this, visually, I think with the visual enhancements, it's made it even better. I think this right here is showing you the 3D audio, which I think is pretty cool. I do like that. Like the stalker just run up on them and you can hear it. By the way, if you have a PS5 and you don't have this headset, go get it. $100. I know we're talking about a $70 remake of a game we probably all played 15 times, and I'm over here telling you to buy a headset for $100. But for $100, this is a very good headset. I have one, and I can't wait to try that out. The stalkers, those are pretty cool. I love them. Last was Part 2, where they were kind of like they'd be stuck to a wall. You go through a doorway and they just jump out at you, and I thought that was really, really cool. I don't know if we'll see that in this game though, because I don't know how far they went as far as, they said they modernized the gameplay in the world and stuff, but those moments from Last of Us Part 2, I don't know if they'll replicate that in this one or not. Showed you a little bit of bow mechanics. And it kind of has the adaptive trigger thing, got kind of like Horizon Forbidden West, and which is always fine. I love the, here's my thing. I don't really think the haptics add, so far we haven't really gotten a game that's really taken advantage of it. You've had a couple that have done it. I'd say Horizon Forbidden West is pretty close, but if the guns kind of have an effect with the controller, I think that's a very good move on their part. And it just adds to the experience to a game that we've played. They add the, which they had the workbench or the work table in the first Last of Us, but they kind of added the whole, Last of Us Part 2 side of it where you actually see Joel putting the attachments on the weapons and stuff. And I think it's a really nice added feature to the game that just it makes you immersed. And I think that's what it comes down to. Like this game, I like this kill right here. I like I like this kill. But well, did it go? Did it go? Yeah, here we go. Boom! Smash his face right on the damn windowsill, dude. That shit is gnarly. And there's moments like that I can't wait to see in these like updated visuals, man. And here's the thing, I think that's most of the video. So I'm just kind of clicking through here. Okay, yeah, that looks like most of the video. So yeah, I mean, it looks good. I think that is it worth it to buy? Or if you're looking at this right now, you're looking at me, right? And check my Cobra Kai shirt, dude. That shit's so badass. If you're looking at me and you're like, man, is it worth? I don't know if it's worth it. You know what I mean? Is it $70? I think what it comes down to is, did you love the first one, and do you think the graphical improvements are enough to waiver the $70? Now, here's my opinion about it, and I think I'm with everybody when I say I think $70 is way too much for this. It's not that it didn't add a lot. It seems like they put a lot of hard work into it. I'm sure they did. Naughty Dog is a good company. I don't think I've seen this like dude in a podcast say how the kings have fallen or something like that. Talking about Naughty Dog as in like they were, the kings of the industry. They still are. Let's get the hell out of this, dude. It doesn't matter what you think about The Last of Us Part 2, right? Naughty Dog is still one of the best developers in the game. You know what I mean? By far. We can't sit here and act like that they don't make quality games. And The Last of Us Part 1 Remake is going to be a stellar experience. So that brings me to you guys. What do you think? Is it worth it to you? It's worth it to me. I'm buying it day one. It's expensive, but there's so many places out there that that can work with you, and that way you don't have to pay the full $7 at once. So if you can do it, do it. But there's so much stuff coming out that I understand too what I pay $70 for a game I've probably beaten like 5 times. But it's worth it to me, and it's probably worth it to you if you love the first one. So as always, like this video if you like what I say. Put me down in the comments and let me know, are you going to buy it? What are you most excited about? And as always, sub to the channel. Podcast coming this week. And we have a lot of fun stuff coming on over here. So if you enjoy these videos, show us that you do. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.